before 11 o'clock. That music means that Vanessa Lane Jennings is in the studio. Let me put your picture on the thing here and say good morning. Vanessa, of course, is an attorney, and she comes in here to do this show so that you can have your legal questions answered, and it costs you nothing. And many times, maybe an answer on the radio will solve your whole problem, or at least put you in the right direction. But we also realize that often these are the questions that are rather sensitive in nature, and we encourage you to call in and ask, because we will learn from your questions. And there you go. Vanessa is from the Jennings Law Firm, of course, right here in Ocala. Good morning, Vanessa.
Good morning, everyone.
What did I do wrong? Oh, there, now that's right.
Hi.
Good morning, Vanessa.
Good morning.
You got the morning voice. Did you just wake up?
I wish. No, I've been up for several hours.
What time is normal for you to get up?
6:37.
Right on the dot, 6:37?
No, 6:30 dash.
Oh, okay.
7.
Oh, I thought
there's a time frame. But yeah, 6:37. I'm very specific.
Right.
That's the inner lawyer in me.
Just say, wow, is that your whole life? Are you that?
Yes.
They say that's anal. I hate using that word, but that's what they say.
I got to try that now.
Isn't it weird when somebody says you are so anal? It's like, why would you say that about me?
Anal retentive, yes.
Yeah.
You need the retentive.
Anal retentive, I know. That's even worse. Anal retentive sounds like just...
We're talking about things that aren't legal then.
So how's work?
Work's good. It's going well.
Yeah? The new year's already off to a good start for you?
It has been a crazy week, but yes.
Any new laws that went into effect that will affect you and what you do?
Yes.
Like the marijuana law?
Well, I don't know. Well, that'll affect me in different ways, but
okay.
Like helping people get. Well, no, I'll help people. Like I'm helping some people get, the answers that they need. Yes, it'll help me, ladies and gentlemen, in all kinds of ways. I am now going to get my red card.
I'm sorry. I interrupted you with the silliness. So what laws will make your work different?
There's a whole slew of them. And
yeah?
if you want, next week what I'll do is I can bring a whole list of them, because there's little teeny tiny things that are changing, from things from like the sentencing guidelines in criminal, all the way to the mundane. One little thing here or there for wills. So
oh, really?
I have no problem doing that. That way we could bring all the little things that are going into effect.
There was one thing that was being discussed in the media in general, was the helmet law for motorcycles. There's a movement, wasn't it right, Robin? Somebody wants to get the helmet law back in place in Florida.
Mandated.
Right.
And here's the question I have for you about that. If there's an accident and the motorcyclist is injured and he's not wearing a helmet, even though the law doesn't require him to in Florida, is it true? Let's see, what was it again? Is it true that part of his injuries are really his fault, and not even if the accident was the other person's fault?
They go into that's the theory of contributory negligence.
So if somebody, even though they're not required to wear a helmet, they're being negligent if they get hurt?
Well, in life, when you get into any type of accident, let's say, and it's not your fault. If you can, let's say your car wasn't where it needed to be update-wise, that can contribute to your negligence. If you're going, if you slip and fall downstairs, there could be different things. You could have seen it and maybe taken a different path, and that could have contributed towards your negligence.
Oh, my gosh.
So there's this idea out there in law that says if you have any part to blame, they figure out what percentage you're at fault or you're to blame, and then at that point in time, they take that off of the other person's liability. So they say you're 20% at your own fault for being injured, but the other person's 80% at fault. They pay 80% of your damages.
So if you wear a helmet and you're in a wreck, that's not your fault. The settlement will be better than it would be if you weren't wearing a helmet, even though you're not required to wear one. Does that sound right?
Well, I mean, the idea there is good, because I don't do that law, so I don't know. But the idea of it is that you could have put a helmet on. It is a simple task that you could have done. You made the choice not to. It's not the law. You don't have to, but you didn't take that precaution. So whatever your injury is, you're to blame. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it depends on exactly where you are in the process. That's going to be a case that goes all the way
That's
to
interesting.
trial, and then
That is interesting, though, isn't
everything
it?
else is negotiated beforehand.
So, I'm kind of looking into. I'm trying to figure out how you do your job.
Lord only knows.
And so this is going to seem like a weird question. Do you play chess?
I know how to play chess.
Are you good at playing chess? I would imagine you are.
I don't know, because I haven't probably played since I was like 15.
Okay, because here's what I picture. I picture that in order to, for example, just use that fake scenario. I didn't know. There's no
Fake scenario.
No, not fake scenario. Fake scenario.
That's why I said scenario.
Oh, okay, scenario.
I didn't enunciate, sorry.
Neither did I. Okay, but in order for you to answer the question, you also, I could hear it in the way you were saying it. You have to know the other side, the other attorneys. You have to think a step ahead of anything you do in order to, because you're really in competition with the other attorney, aren't you?
Right. Well, you have to think, how would I defend, or how would I go against my own case? How am I going to poke hole? In the law school I went to, they called it Swiss cheese. How are you going to make Swiss cheese out of their case? You have to poke holes in it. Mm-hmm. Swiss cheese has holes.
Do you know the bigger the hole, the better the cheese?
Okay, well,
have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard that?
It doesn't work so well when it's your case. The bigger the hole, not the better your case.
Oh, really?
you want baby Swiss cheese. You want the little teeny tiny holes. But yeah, no, that's how I think about it. That's why I was a prosecutor first.
Yes, I know that about you. So
because I want to do criminal defense, so I learnned how to build a case.
How to prosecute.
So I could take it down easier. Because being a prosecutor is actually a very specific way of thinking.
How many attorneys, and I'm asking you in a way to brag about yourself, but
yeah,
no, but
I know you are humble, Vanessa.
But okay, because
really
the question is this, and it's a way to, I don't know. I think you're a really great attorney. I mean, every time you answer these questions, I can hear the wheels turning. I don't know if you needed any WD-40 or something.
Probably, if you're hearing them, I probably do. They're a little squeaky.
But when oh gosh, what was I going to say now? I'm sure there aren't very many attorneys who can say they were also a prosecuting attorney. You know what I mean? You've been on both sides of the fence.
In the criminal worlds, that's not strange.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Which side do you like to be on the best? Which is it more fun to be prosecuting?
No, it's not more fun to be on either side.
Like that lady who was the prosecuting attorney in the O.J. Simpson. What was her name? We all followed that lady, remember?
Yes.
Oh, I forget her name, what she was.
You were too young. You don't remember that?
No, it was 92. I was 12.
Yeah, that's too young. That's too young.
No, but I do know her name.
Marcia.
Marcia's not there.
What's it?
Look at her. She's like, I'll answer.
Yeah, Marcia something. Marcia.
I said
remember her
Google.
last name.
All right, we got a phone call. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on there with Vanessa.
Good morning. I am inquiring about several things that I've seen happen where I live. One person went to a gas station to fill his car up or something, became confused at the pump. He asked for help, and the next thing the police showed up, and all of a sudden he disappeared. And his wife, who was an invalid, she was taken from the home. The last thing I heard, they were in assisted living somewhere. The home sat vacant for a while, fully furnished and everything. Then all of a sudden that stuff disappeared, and now the house was up for sale. It's been sold, and as far as I know, we haven't heard anything from these people. And I'm just wondering, I know the state in Florida can do this, and the laws are pretty clear about that. And the state becomes, or they become wards of the state. And I'm just wondering, how can they do that if it started out as a guy getting confused at how to get gas using his credit card or debit card at a gas station? And I'm just wondering, are we at that point in our country where you have to watch what you're doing and you can't get confused or something anymore as far as a senior citizen goes in Florida? And I'm just wondering if you could answer or address that, and I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Wow, that's scary stuff. Wonder what happened.
very certain that there's a lot of things going on there. Let's start at the very basic. To become a ward of the state of Florida has to determine that you are no longer capable or have the mental capacity to take care of yourself. So there are steps that have to go through. There's I think it's like Florida Chapter 742 or something like that.
Oh my.
741. That gives you the parameters. There's a lot of parameters that go along with it. So if someone called and said, this gentleman seems to have something going on, I'm going to do a lot of presumptions. This is all going to be hypothetical because I don't really know what happened.
Right.
So, he's confused. He needs help. He maybe shouldn't be driving because you see that a lot. I think it was earlier in the week where someone ran their car into or through the CVS on top of the world.
Oh, really?
At 60th and 200.
Right in the wall? They hit
They went through the CVS.
Okay.
So they were doing door-to-door shopping.
Wow.
And that happens a lot in Sarasota, too. There's people get confused and they'll run through the farmers market because they close down the streets down there, and the farmers market's literally in the middle of the downtown.
Oh, okay.
And people, they'll get confused and they don't see it. So the question comes, should this person be driving? So I can see where the gas station attendant said, well, maybe this shouldn't happen. Maybe he should get an escort home. At that point in time, I would presume that they would look to see who his next of kin is. If his wife is an invalid, that might make finding out who his next of kin is a little bit harder. If she has mental capacity, or she couldn't take care of him. So there's a whole kinds of things that are probably going on there, and trying to get in there to find out exactly, can they take care of themselves? Are they able to take care of themselves? And how do we go about this? And if they do put them into assisted living facility, a lot of times assisted living facilities come over and they take over your finances.
Right.
So they do. So if the house is in your name, they can go then and sell the house to pay for your costs to be in their facility. So if that wasn't set up, because there's ways to set up your all your money in your house and all those other things to make sure that that doesn't happen. A lot of veterans do it because when they go in, they'll do what is slangily known as like a veterans trust. It's not actually what it's called, but it's just what people call it. And what that is it you put your house in a trust and certain assets in a trust. So when you do go into one of the VA facilities, they don't get your house. They'll go and they'll get your pension, and they can go and get your Social Security and everything else because it's paying them back for feeding you and making sure you have a doctor and 24-hour care. That's costly. So they get that money, but they're not getting your house. So you can still give your family or your heirs something.
And that's what happened to my uncle. He had to go into an assisted living on memory support because he got Alzheimer's and dementia and couldn't live at home, and he had his pension and all from the veterans. But then he and his wife, my aunt, signed their house over to the facility, but she's allowed to live in it until she dies.
Right, they gave her a life estate.
Give it, and then they'll get the house. I mean, since then he has passed, but she's still living in the house, so I guess that'll take care of whatever
she was given the life
needed.
estate, so she gets to live there for life, and then when she passes, they own what's called fee simple absolute, which is the remainder of the life estate.
Oh, okay.
We have a little break. We'll take another call on the other side. I see the phone ringing, so let's take that break and we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Some fog around Friday morning, clouds and sun later Friday, the high 74 to 78. Cloudy and mild Friday night, some showers and a heavy thunderstorm moving in after midnight, lows in the upper 50s to mid-60s. Saturday, periods of rain and a thunderstorm ending in the afternoon, the high in the upper 50s to low 70s. Sunday, partly sunny, breezy, and much cooler highs in the 50s. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Are Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
All right, it's 10 minutes, 9 minutes actually before 11 o'clock. We took a little bit of a late break there, so we've got a few minutes left. Nine is enough time probably. But if you have a question, we would encourage you to call. The phone was ringing before the break and everybody bailed out. So if you want to call in now, the number is 622-9622. Vanessa Lane Jennings is here to answer your legal questions. And there's the phone call. Let me take it. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Vanessa.
Yes, thank you, and good morning, Vanessa. See, my mother-in-law, before moving to Florida I think it's almost 3 years now, from Wisconsin, she did her, through a lawyer, did her will, and got everything set up properly and everything else. Now she's been down here, and she's become quite ill, and there's been changes in the family with a divorce and other things, and she wants to make some changes. It's hard for her to get out. Can she do it through a lawyer without going to the lawyer?
Well, I know I go to people's houses. I mean, normally they're existing clients, but who can't leave. So there's lawyers out there who can do it. You can go to a lawyer. She can tell the lawyer what she wants drafted in it, and the lawyer can draft it however she wants. But then it would need to be still signed by her and witnessed by 2 individuals and dated. Those are the requirements of the state of Florida. That it needs to be in writing, 2 witnesses, signed and dated.
Okay, but she lives down in Orlando area now, so there are lawyers that will do house calls.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, they're not a plethora of them, but they do exist. So I know there are lawyers, even in this town, other than myself, who go to houses and help out with that situation. Because especially in communities with older people, it's hard for them to get out. Or my law firm, which is on the 2nd floor, which is hard to get to for some people. So.
Okay, well, all you got to do is to tell her that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the call. If anybody else would like to call, we've got about 8 minutes left, or 7 minutes. The number is 622-9622. Going back to Sonny's call, I have a question for you. Sure. If, let's say, everything was done correctly, the people who really needed to be in an assisted living facility were where they needed to be for their own safety and everybody else's safety. It's just that it happened to come to everybody's attention at the gas pump. Okay, but the cousin or grandson Johnny up in New York or in Wisconsin, whatever, he says this is not right. They need to be back in the house, so they come to you. How do you determine that they either need to be there, or B, we need to explain to cousin Johnny that no, they did the right thing? How do you do that? Well,
does cousin Johnny want to be their guardian? Because they might be, once they're found to be incapable of making their own decisions.
Okay, so
they're going to need to have a legal guardian. It's kind of think of it almost as like a child, and it's horrible to use that analogy, but that's the best analogy there is. You wouldn't let a 14-year-old live on their own.
Right, exactly.
You wouldn't let a 10-year-old live on their own.
Yeah, sure. That's a great analogy, yeah.
So if they're saying this person is equivalent at this stage because of dementia, because of this, they're not fully capable enough to make the decision to take care of themselves, someone needs to do it. Someone needs to be their guardian. So if when the state of Florida steps in and does it, that's normally because there's not somebody else in the immediate vicinity who's stepping forward and saying, yes, I want to be their guardian. Because it doesn't even at that point in time have to be a family member. It could be a really good close friend. It could be anyone who wants to step in and say, I want to be this person's guardian. I want to take care of them. I want to make sure that they're fed, clothed, taken to their doctor's appointment, get their medicine, and they do everything they need to do.
So they call you, and you do your due diligence and what they're asking you to do. When you determine, oh my gosh, they really are better off in there. Do you then go back to the relative and say, you know, they're okay, or do you follow their orders and get them out?
Well, no. Well, if they want them out, they would be moving in with them.
Then they have to be the guardian.
Right. They would just be becoming the guardian. They would be I'd be doing the paperwork then to make them their guardian, instead of having the state of Florida the guardian.
Can you have a guardian and that person not live with you? That wouldn't be smart, right?
I'm going to go with no, because I actually don't do guardianship law. I'm talking like
okay.
I do for children, so I know the law for little children, but because I do family law. But when it comes to elder law, that's a whole different thing. I believe they do have to live with them or have something set up to where they're the guardian, or they could be the guardian and put them in an assisted living facility, an ALF. But they have to do something to where they have some kind of 24-hour care.
I think I'm going to fake dementia.
Why would you do that?
Something live with my son. Somebody said, "Dad, come on, live with me."
But what if he doesn't want?
What time is it?
No.
Well, then I snap out of it. Oh, no, I'm fine.
Alex won't believe you.
I'm fine.
Right.
I'm fine. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Vanessa, help me.
Nope. I'll be like, sorry, Alex. Alex, you got to make it go away.
My client, Your Honor, my client. Oh, what was the one we wanted to hear about? There was a case the other day. Oh, gosh. Did you hear about this in Lake County? The East Lake County librarian.
Yes.
Nope.
Created a character named Chuck Finley.
Okay.
Chuck Finley took out 2,000 books in the past
2,000 books.
in the past 9 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Chuck Finley doesn't really exist.
Okay.
But the books were checked out.
Okay.
Not really, but on paper they were checked out so that those books wouldn't be taken away from the library, because in order for a library to keep their books, I don't know if this is a Lake County rule or what, but now they were in trouble because they were falsifying the library records in order to
There's
keep
some fraud going on.
Right.
Okay.
So can you imagine this trial? They go to court. They have to say, Your Honor, Chuck Finley doesn't exist. Well, I mean, how would you defend that? Don't you feel bad for them?
Okay, so I'm going to make a lot of.
In other words, they want these books that they consider to be very, very worthwhile. Please don't take the books from my library.
Like Grapes of Wrath and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
whatever.
Classics. Yeah.
Have you ever read The Grapes of Wrath? It's so
I
old,
have
it's now The Raisins of Wrath.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
our choice was Grapes of Wrath or East of Eden. And I chose, because I believe they're both by Steinbeck, and I read East of Eden.
Yeah, sure. It's got more skin.
East of Eden was actually, it was a larger novel, and we got more credit. So I'm the nerdy person, wanted extra.
So isn't that
points,
an
but
interesting
yes.
case, though, for
So
these librarians?
Is it that they need to have so many checkouts to stay open, or is it that they wanted to keep those specific books on the shelf?
Second choice, yes. Those books would have been removed from the library if it didn't show that anybody ever took them out. So they were
That's silly.
I know.
Why would you take books from the library?
They should let the librarian say, no, these books should stay here. And then I guess the head librarian in the state says, well, nobody's taking them out. So they create this fake person, Chuck Finley.
Yeah,
Chuck,
very interesting.
But they needed to have created more than one person, clearly.
They should have, yeah.
Because they're going to go, okay, Chuck did not take out 2,000 books.
Right. That's how they got caught, probably.
That was their mistake.
They had a, what do they call them, a canary?
Yeah.
What do you call a stool pigeon? Whatever they call it.
A stool pigeon.
In November, yeah, somebody tattletaled on them and said, hey, there's no Chuck Finley here.
Yeah. That would be an interesting case, though.
I just feel so bad.
You know about
Defriend.
snitches? They get stitches, so that person, they better watch out.
That's right, especially in the librarian world. You know how tough they are. I can't imagine, in the courtroom, these people who probably never do anything wrong ever because they're librarians. Now they've got Your Honor, I'm sorry, I made up Chuck.
My favorite teacher, what do you call that, was one of the
Mentor?
librarians at Forest High School forever.
Is that right?
Nice.
Yeah, no, and she'd be saucy like that. I could see that. She was a saucy minx.
Oh, really? A saucy minx.
She was hilarious. I loved her. She was literally one of my favorites.
Saucy minx, I like that.
She was
Nice.
great.
Could use that somehow. Saucy minx.
The saucy.
That'd be
minx.
your biography, your autobiography.
Oh, let's hope not.
Oh my gosh, we're out of time. Vanessa, what's your phone number?
It is 352-804-0092.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Suspects in a videotape beating of a mentally disabled man in Chicago due in court today. This as we learn more details of the crime. According to police, the parents of the victim say while he was missing, they received text messages from someone claiming to be holding him captive.
The suspect's charged Thursday with multiple felony criminal charges, including hate crimes, 2 days after police say they found the white disabled teenager wandering the streets in distress after he escaped a home where the 4 black men and women are shown on Facebook torturing the teen.
Fox Radio's Jeff Manasso, an intel briefing for the president-elect on allegations of Russian hacking, even as he continues to express doubts about it.
Tweeting out, quote, the Democratic National Committee would not allow the FBI to study or see its computer info after it was supposedly hacked by Russia.
Fox's John Roberts, Fox News. We report, you decide.
Pay fast with the Master Pass. Don't buy it, Master Pass it. Pay fast with the Master Pass. Simple and easy. Pay fast with the Master Pass. Don't buy it, Master Pass it. Pay fast with the Master Pass. Secure and so easy.
Master Pass, the simple, secure way to pay for MasterCard. Accepted at select merchants.
Don't buy it, Master Pass it.
The world is calling out for help. Will you answer? Extreme poverty, melting glaciers, child slaves, pollution in our oceans. All United Nations member countries around the globe are uniting to help save our world. These sustainable development